Hi guys, here we are on a Sunday afternoon. It's so hot, and again, I just got out of the pool, so please, I apologize for how I look. But I want to get into this so we have enough time. Why I teach? That is that's an amazing question. My big thing about teaching is those aha moments, is when a student gets it and the light bulb turns on, and you I do a dance. I dance with them. I jump up and down because my kids were 4 and 5. I was teaching TK. And it's just yes, yes, yes. And for those little moments for me are the most exhilarating. And that's why I teach. Why do I think what do I think is most important in a student's education? I think that the most important thing is that they know they're loved and they're validated. And when a little guy asks you a question, or anybody asks you a question in life, but when a student asks you a question and you look them right in the eye and you let them finish their thought and you hear them and then you validate them, they walk away with the biggest smile in their heart. And that is super important to me. Is I want to make these kids feel validated, so when they go out in the world, that's what they're expecting from people. They're expecting to be validated. um, what is what I hope students get from their relationships from me? I hope they know that they can come into my classroom anytime, no matter what grade it is, no matter if I'm teaching TK and there's a 6th grader that wants to talk, or there's an 8th grader that wants to talk, or a 1st grader, anybody. I hope they know that I appreciate them as people and I will do anything I can to help them with anything that's going on in their life. It doesn't matter what it is. I just find that when students know and they trust you and they know they can come in, and I used to have these 8th graders come into my classroom and put out my nap mats at the beginning of lunch. And they would come in, and it was the guys, the boys, they didn't know me really well. But they would come in and I would make a game out of it. We would make a game of putting the mats out and then see if we could toss the sleep nap bags. It was just a pillow and a blanket. If who could get the closest to the mat for that child, and we made a game out of it. And those boys, young men, came in every day, and were so happy and so excited. That's real, and that's what I want them to feel for me. Is I want them to feel that I'm real, and I want them to feel like they can text me, they can call me when they go to high school, or when they're struggling with something, or they can just come into my classroom and eat lunch if they want. That's what I want. I want the realness factor in with my kids. What role does equity and culturally responsive teaching play in my teaching? So I wrote this down. Equity in the classroom is defined as giving students what they need. And when a teacher truly listens to students and respect the classroom, respect in the classroom, when a teacher truly listens to students and respect in the classroom is mutual between teacher and student, a productive classroom can be formed. That's huge. That's the whole thing right there. Is that, again, is it all goes back to validating and making and helping people trust you. How do I hope to continue to grow as an educator? Watching other teachers, watching people who've done this, good, bad, ugly. That's how you learn. And going to people when you make mistakes and saying, hey, I messed up on this, help me out. That's how I feel like I can continue to grow as an educator. So what challenges do I see moving forward in my career? Kind of just being settled in a classroom, where I was in a classroom at a Catholic school for 3 years, and having a classroom of a lot of different ethnicities come in. I just want to make sure that I can help them all thrive, not simply survive. I just think that is a cool thing. This quote that I was reading, my one quote that I want to talk about today, is from Why Dewey Needs Frere and Vice Versa, A Call for Deeper Critical Learning. It's similarly, students might spend years practicing higher order skills such as analysis and synthesis and creation without ever bringing these skills to bear on questions of racism, classism, misogyny, homophobia, I don't know what that is, white supremacy, and so on. So that touched me because when we're talking about what we want to be as teachers and what kind of teacher we want to be, I want to enable my students to have those higher order skills along with taking those skills and thinking outside the box to analyze what's going on in the world and analyze what it means to be, what white supremacy means, what racism is, what Black Lives Matter means. I want them to be able to dig deep. I want them to be able to be true and be real with themselves. And that's why that touched me. So thank you. Again, I love this course. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye.